Victoria Paris, born Sheila Young on November 22, 1960, in Great Falls, Montana, was not your typical film star. Over the span of her career, which began in 1989 and ended in 2002, she not only transformed into one of the most iconic figures in the industry, but she also challenged the stereotypes and stigmas often attached to performers. Before she became Victoria Paris, Sheila Young's life in Great Falls, Montana, seemed worlds away from what would later become her defining career. Growing up in an idyllic rural environment, Paris pursued a degree in nutrition at Montana State University. Her interest in health would remain a cornerstone throughout her life, even as her path took unexpected turns. After earning her degree, she moved to Los Angeles in 1987, searching for something more exciting than the quiet life Montana offered. Initially, she found herself in the role of a secretary, but that didn't satisfy her desire for adventure. Intrigued by the wild, theatrical atmosphere of the Hollywood Tropicana, famous for its wrestling shows, Paris started working at the venue. The leap from that to modeling followed soon after, and it was there that she discovered an unexpected comfort with being in front of the camera. The photo shoots led to film work, and by 1988, she was starring in her first production, Girls of DD7. The late 1980s and early 90s were a period of rapid change in the industry. Video production had become more affordable, and VHS tapes brought magic into homes across America. Victoria Paris entered at a time when the demand for talent was soaring, and she quickly established herself as a top-tier performer. In 1989, she landed her breakout role in Live In, Love In, a parody of the popular sitcom Three's Company starring John Ritter. She starred in the film opposite her then-husband, industry actor Robert Bullock. Her comedic timing and ability to deliver a performance beyond the norm set her apart from many of her contemporaries. The following year, she tied for AVN's Best New Starlet Award, a rare and celebrated achievement shared with fellow upcoming star Tori Wells. This accolade cemented Paris's reputation as one of the industry's rising talents. It was the only time in AVN history that two performers shared the coveted title. The roles continued to flow from there. In 1989 alone, she appeared in 47 separate productions, making an impact that placed her at the very top of her game. Early film highlights include Pretty Peaches 3: The Quest, alongside a late-career Jamie Gillis, the well-received Hotel Paradise with Peter North and Tracy Adams, and a top-billing turn in Paris by Night. In 1991, Paris continued to build on her early industry recognition by winning the AVN Award for the Paul Thomas-helmed Beauty and the Beast 2. Throughout her career, she would appear in over 190 films, working for renowned video production studios like Flying Leap, Western Visuals, and Elegant Angel. Among her peers, Victoria Paris was often seen as a paradox. In an industry that often thrived on excess and controversy, Paris maintained a level of decorum and professionalism that was refreshing. Celebrated producer and director Axel Braun, who worked with her on Fantasy Nights in 1990, described her as a cut above, noting her meticulous preparation, professionalism, and captivating quality of maintaining an aura of innocence in her performances. As Paris began to reduce working as an actress in front of the camera, she turned more and more toward the clubbing circuit, which was extremely lucrative for performers of her stature. Unlike many in the industry, Paris abstained from smoking, drinking, or substance use. She was known for being health-conscious because of her background in nutrition. This commitment to health extended into her post-industry career, where she became a part-time personal trainer. Even at the height of her film career, Paris often spoke about her desire to write a book on nutrition, a reflection of her recognition that her time in the industry had an expiration date. Paris' relationship with her colleagues also set her apart. She was particularly close with fellow star Christy Canyon. In a Rialto Report interview, Canyon recalled fondly their time spent together on the road, as well as more personal moments like attending Paris's 30-year high school reunion in Montana. Even though we were Victoria Paris and Christy Canyon, Canyon said, everybody was so nice and respectful to us because that's how we conducted ourselves. There was no judgment on what they did for a living. The two were inseparable for much of the 1990s, even holidaying together at times. We had so many air miles on US Airways, Canyon explained, we'd just say, let's go to Hawaii for a week. We were the best of friends, two peas in a pod, she reminisced about the time they spent together. They would also hang out with fellow star Ashlyn Gear, another giant in the industry. But as time went on, Paris found happiness outside the world of films. Around 1999, she met the man who would become her husband at a gas station, of all places. Canyon humorously recalled that Paris had, in a rare moment of boldness, asked the man for his number. The two would eventually marry and lived a quiet, peaceful life, both deciding to not have children. Instead, they rescued older pit bulls, an example of Paris's compassionate nature. Her departure from the industry was graceful and without fanfare. She transitioned into a regular 9-to-5 job, working at a doctor's office, and appeared to embrace the simplicity and normalcy of her life after fame. She managed to live this way for almost 2 decades. Nobody knew about her past. Canyon relates a good story about this too. One evening, Paris was jogging with friends after work, and someone called out to her using her stage name. Her friends became confused, wondering why she was being called Victoria. It turns out it was legendary industry actor turned director Paul Thomas. Paris jogged on, explaining that the guy was probably not all there. Tragically, on August 10, 2021, Victoria Paris passed away from breast cancer in Rexburg, Idaho. She was just 60 years old. Paris left a lasting impression on her colleagues, fans, and the industry itself. As Canyon once put it, she adored her life, she adored her husband, and she adored the simple things. And in that simplicity, she found a happiness that many continue to chase, inside and outside of the spotlight. Her life, as unconventional as it was, remains a testament to her ability to defy expectations and live life on her own terms.